Well, we want the best. No, obviously you'll be trying to exhibit the finest artists that live in the Fargo-Moorhead area particularly, and then the Red River Valley, and then we move out to western Minnesota and North Dakota, sort of our general area where most of our members come from, and also where the artists that have one-person shows here. We have a strong commitment to artists of our time and place. We've done this from the day we opened. I think that museums are sort of doing a disservice to their artists in their own community if they do not exhibit their work. There was no art gallery or museum in Fargo-Moorhead in 1960. My brother Olien and I decided we should start a gallery, and eventually it would evolve into a museum. I had spent the 3 previous years living in Nuremberg, Germany. Prior to that, out east a lot, and there were a lot of galleries and museums, so we started the gallery. I'd signed a 2-year lease for the building downtown, then decided that we should have that house, and I suppose you have to be 25 years old to actually buy another house, and you're losing about $500 a month, and buy another building and have a 2-year lease on another one, and so on. The whole thing was pretty bizarre. I consider the most beautiful old building in Fargo-Moorhead for the museum, and we have, the building was built in 1913. It's the Federal Post Office building. People that, particularly out of the area that come here from the cities and so on, always marvel at this really handsome building. We have some permanent collection things out of the gallery too, because we have just so many things in the permanent collections. Right now, we have the works from the Native American collections are out at the gallery, as well as some of the contemporary, what we call nervous art, sort of art that moves around a lot. It's upstairs at the Rourke. And I suppose as the years go by, more and more of the gallery will have to be used for the permanent collection as well. And to be what we call an encyclopedic museum, that we would actually show all different cultures and so on, not just art of the Midwest, which is the largest part of both of our temporary exhibitions. But we also have a great collection of American pop art, because at the time, in the 1960s, we were able to buy pop art things very, very inexpensively. So we ended up with some unbelievably fine pieces of work by Andy Warhol and Lichtenstein and James Rosenquist, who is from the Red River Valley. A lot of the permanent collection ends up being gifts from people. They offer you things that they might have. Instead of selling it, a lot of people are very generous and just as soon give it to the museum, so it's taken care of and permanently here. Part of the time, I guess I do occasionally ask people for art, or ask them more often for money to buy art with. It's probably more often that we get money that way. We have often, sometimes 3 to 4 different exhibitions, particularly in this building or the gallery. The gallery with we have things right now, the Native American collection is actually in the lower level, the basement level of the Rourke Gallery right now. And there's things on the 2nd floor and the main floor. When we became 10 years old back in 1970, I know the Minneapolis Tribune sent out a photographer and a writer. The whole idea that an art gallery survived 10 years in Minnesota was a real record. But it's a combination of selling art, having memberships, getting grants from the Minnesota State Arts Board, the North Dakota State Arts Council, the local arts councils, and donations from businesses. A little bit of everything, I suppose. I like working here. We have museum studies students from Concordia in a program where they get college credit for working here. So I always tell the students, we've had anywhere from up to, I guess, 10 to 25 or so working here all the time from the 3 colleges, MS, Concordia, and SU over the years. And I always tell them when they come to work is that how much fun it is. to have a job where you just come and you look at art, you handle art, you talk to artists, and you talk to art collectors and patrons, and they're all really nice people, all these things. It's just sort of a lot better than, you know, probably selling shoes in a shoe department or working in the kitchen of a fast food restaurant or something. It's, you know, it's just plain enjoyable to work in a place with art and artists. That's all I ever do or think about, I suppose, is art.
Production funding is provided by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota, and by the members of Prairie Public.